There we go. Now people should be able to hear me. Thank you, Yami, for that. This is Factorio. It's one of my favorite games. All of my content from this point forwards will be Factorio focused. Right now, we're going to get some iron because we want to craft more bone miners. I am using lights today. You should be able to hear me now. Please let me know if you still can't hear me. What a great start to first stream. Oh, and now I can hear myself. Why can I hear myself? Oh wow, that audio quality is not it. Because no, okay. Why am I hearing myself? Voice meter. Official cable. I should not be hearing myself. I have no idea why I can hear myself. Sorry guys, I know you can't see me doing a lot. Yeah, Yami, don't forget there's a stream delay. Why can I hear myself? There's no dropped frames, Yami. For some reason it's just choppy. And of course I can't change the audio sample rate while I'm live. So I'm going to have to deal with some choppy audio for a second. Is it because of output? No. Why can I hear myself? Why am I picking up on my own audio? I should not be able to hear my own mic. The mic's consistent A3 is cable B. Cable B is not outputting anyway. Cable B is just being picked up by... Yeah, I know my audio is buffering. My audio is a little bit too high. My audio sample rate is a little bit too high, but I can't change that. Ah, mic's going through audio, the mic's going through cable B. Sorry, yeah, I'm trying to figure out why I can hear myself. And I have literally no idea, so we're just going to ignore it. In the meantime, we're actually going to play the game, because, you know, apparently that's a thing that people want to see. It's almost as if that's what they're tuning in for. In fact, I'm going to take you, and let's create another one of those. And what we can do is take that off, point that into that, and what that'll do is they'll feed each other the fuel. So this one mine something, put it in here, this one can then mine something, put it in here. What am I going to do next? Iron. That's one of those. Let's get iron set up to be ever so slightly automated. So we can do a very similar thing to what was on the cold patch initially, except now we're going to use something called even distribution, which was one of the mods I was talking about earlier, that obviously nobody heard because my audio was messing up. I'm just going to do that, and that will evenly distribute the coal between the two machines. That is a mod, that's not something that's available from just the base game, so please bear that in mind before you use it. The mod is called even distribution. I will try and remember to put a mod list down in the description. If you control click on machines, you'll take all the extras out. Very useful when you want to quickly grab some coal from the miners. Let me try and find one of those coal rocks so I can show you guys what a coal rock looks like. That rock is not one. There you go. We'll find one at one point. Ooh. Yeah, I hope people are enjoying the stream, even though I can't change my audio sample rate. I will fix it next stream so we can have some good audio quality. But yeah, this is Factorio. Check my other social media at some point for blueprints and things like that, because hopefully we'll make some blueprints this stream. You can also catch the live stream on YouTube if you don't catch it live. That's amount of iron, and we are going to start trying to make all the things that we need for that. We're also going to make... Yeah, that was a bad decision. We need more iron! That's a common theme. Yeah, I can hear myself buffering in my ear. Don't know why I won't go over half a stack, but that's sure. And bring both of those up to half stack. Looks like there's full of loud in there. It's probably something to do with stack size and number of machines and all that. How many I do, but I should really get some more. So I'm going to turn my mic off for a sec so I can have a drink. Add a little there. Make sure to stay hydrated. Let's grab some copper and some iron because we always need more iron. Very, very common theme in Factorio, needing iron. Make one of those and one of those, and then we need a shit ton more fucking iron. Because we want to make one of these labs. We're also going to want to make 5, 10 of you. Because we check the research queue, again, modded research queue. So it won't look like this to everyone else. We see this needs 10 research. That mod is improved research queue. Just a little bit of quality of life. You are still in chat, Yummy? Possibly not. Oh, I need more copper as well. There we go, that's enough copper. Copper is not something you do massive amounts of in Factorio. Take one of you and one of you, because we can take some more of you on iron in a second. Go with more iron. That's even distribution again. I will try and remember to let people know which mods I'm using for which things. I'll do a little bit more of that. Yeah, I'm using that. Oh well. It at least popped in. I do enjoy it when you guys pop in. Even if most people in chat are just friends of mine for now. Show your support. There we go. So now we're going to make our way over to this patch of water down here. Oh, one last thing to craft is going to be this guy. So we need a piece of wood. So let's grab a tree real quick. There we go. And this works. Little patch of water. And we're going to make a very, very simple setup for research. You can match up the symbols, so water here, match them up. This makes water, this uses it. And then this uses steam and produces power, which needs to go through a power pole. Now I would normally stick that power pole a little bit lower, but we can stick it... Yeah, because normally I'd stick that power pole there. We're actually just going to stick one there for right now. And then we can grab the lab, stick that next to it, pop a little bit of coal in there. And now this has got some power, so we can do a tiny bit of research. I don't need promotion of my channel. I'm not going to be paying you any money. And if you continue to send messages like that on my channel, I will have you removed. But hey, feel free to check out my other social media, where I also won't be buying any services from anyone that randomly pops up offering promotion of my stuff. I am quite capable of promoting my own stuff. Let's wait a few more seconds for this research to finish. Because I can start automating things. Well, I don't know whether you guys could hear me clicking my fingers. Sorry for anyone that doesn't like finger clicking. Sorry, I'm hearing myself in my headphones a little bit. Hopefully next stream the audio quality will be a bit better. Yeah, I definitely don't need any more copper. Iron, on the other hand, always need more. And you can get a stack of that. So you can continue working. If you see me walk slightly further than I intend, it's because my game lagged a little bit. Yeah, mining up all this stone from these rocks is quite useful sometimes, because it can give you a decent chunk of stone quite quickly. We will start automating stuff fairly soon, especially the creation of science packs. Oh hey, it's a spaceship part. For those that didn't see the beginning of the stream, you start in a spaceship and then you can get resources from that. Let me check the pollution view. Yeah, not producing much pollution. Well, not enough to anger the locals yet. Let us make a really, really basic way of automating the creation of science packs. Science packs are iron gear wheels and copper plates. Iron gear wheels are just a couple of iron plates. So to start with, we're going to come down here. This will get moved. This will definitely get moved. Let's put that there, and we can pop another one. Yes, right there. And I would like to make let's pick an iron chest, because it's slightly easier to come by than wood. He says to surround it in trees. And then we are going to grab 1, 2, and 3 of those. One that way, one that way, one that way, and we need one more. And that one more is going to go like that. This will be making science packs. This will be making gear wheels. Yes. Yes. Yes, yes. And we can do that, and that. And now that should start automatically making some science packs for us. Because, yeah, from in here, we'll go into the gear maker, we will then go into the, which will make the gears that go into here, using copper up here, and then it's the science lab. So this is, for want of a better setup, automated science. At least for the initial red science. It is slow. If you want to know how slow, I have a little mod called Rate Calculator. And we are currently making quite potentially 6 science per minute. Yeah, looks like about 6 science per minute. Interesting. Yeah, 6 science per minute. Oh yeah. Doing good today, boys. There's a lot of delay on my screen. Wait, hold on. Of course. I just worked out why I could hear myself. I forgot that I had my own stream open in another tab. Now I can't hear myself because I closed it. I closed the thing that was allowing me to hear myself, because now I'm not watching my own stream. Funny how that works. Yeah, apparently when you've got your own stream open, it lets you hear yourself in your own ears, like other people are hearing you. Let's go grab some iron. Iron needs a little bit of fuel. That is pretty common. Surprisingly common. And we're going to start making... Let's make 5... 10. Let's make 10 of those. Because I'm going to start getting some automation up. Because that is the aim of the game. The aim of the game is to automate the world. And then I'm also going to pop transport belts. 100 of them. On my little logistics requests here, and enable logistic requests. And I'm going to clear that and clear that, so that doesn't get cleared out of my inventory. And as you can see, I've automatically started crafting transport belts, and that's just because I have some resources on me. Now if I pick up a little bit more iron, I'll start crafting more belts. I also want to craft 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You know, 9 of those will do for now. Those are burner inserters, so they are powered by burnable resources. I'm going to pick those up and slightly change how this operates. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. I just want this to be the other way around. So placing buildings over other buildings can rotate them. Or can replace some buildings with some other buildings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can do up to 9. So 7, 8, and if I can reach 9. That's the pivot tool, and that is by Q. And we're going to take some of our belts. We're going to stick the belts in front of these guys, because that's where they're going to be spitting their resources. We're just going to get a belt and run it right the way down to here, so everything's placing on the same side of the belt. And we can get our burner inserters, and they're going to pick up from this belt and put resources into the burner inserters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then what we can do to kickstart everything is come in here and put just a single bit of coal in there. and that is all it needs. One of the base designs that some people make occasionally is they'll go on to something like creative, so they don't need to worry about doing any research or anything, and they will make a base that is capable of being switched on by a single piece of wood. Because when you start the game, you start it with a single piece of wood in your inventory. So they can keep their inventory relatively clear of everything, or make it as a scenario in the map editor. And then what will end up happening is when you load it up, you can obviously put the one piece of wood into that first miner, and then it will start producing resources, and then it'll have been filled up with enough coal. They like to keep, the inserters like to keep at least 5, well, at most 5 pieces of coal in, 5 items in things that burn burnables. Unless it's an inserter, in which case 1 is fine. It's got an extra. So it'll pass by this first inserter, comes to a second inserter, get picked up, popped into the out of fuel burner miner, and that burner miner will then start producing coal as well, which then means you've got 2 producing coal. It'll keep going past until the third one gets kicked in, and then the next one, the next one, the next one, the next one, like you've been seeing, and eventually the last one gets kicked on. Now, what are we going to do with this coal? Well, that is an interesting question. We're going to run it this way. And then we are going to blueprint a line of belts, just so I know where I'm going to build. We're going to run right the way this way, straight through the trees, and it is going to end up somewhere over here. Up there. Because that is where our fuel, that is where our power generation is. So we're going to come in just there, so we can have an inserter, and we're going to bring down from here. There we go. So now we can go and grab a load more of the iron and craft all of the belts we need. Because Handy Hands will make sure that we keep crafting belts until we have 100 of them. Which is really nice for Handy Hands. We also want to craft 1 more of those. I'm going to take a quick break for a few moments because I need to go to the loo. So if you guys would like to go to the loo, grab a drink, anything like that, take the next couple of minutes. Just going to leave this doing its thing for a little while, and I'll be back in a moment. If you're watching on YouTube, then you can literally pause at any time while you're waiting for me to give you permission to go to the loo. Come on. Okay, and we are back, potentially with slightly better audio. Not actually too sure if we do have better audio, but hopefully the audio is slightly better and less glitchy. I tried turning down the volume of my mic. If anyone is sat in chat and happens to know if I'm too loud, too quiet, too anything, then please let me know, and I will adjust accordingly. It is also useful if you guys can tell me if I am still buffering with my audio, because if I am, then the changes that I made did not help. Just take a full stack of coal and shut the fuck up. We need to go down here. Actually, rather than grabbing it from here, I'm going to show you guys. Press Q, just pick it straight up. It's really useful for building blueprints. Hopefully, none of the trees get in the way. Looks like the belt is continuing straight the way through, but just we can see slightly better, I'm gonna get rid of any trees that are a bit too close. Stuff can still get past this tree here, so it seems to be blocking the path, even though it doesn't look it. As we're about to see, hopefully. Yep, there you go. See? I also believe that I just accidentally mined up part of the... Yeah, I've definitely accidentally mined a belt or two. Sadly, I can't... Oh, there. I was about to say sadly I can't see where, but... I managed to find out! All of these trees right now where I want to put belts. See, this is where the locals dislike us. Got to drop down off the trees so we can see our belts. And then come up. And go all the way up this way. Come this way. And then go there. And we get this banner inserter. And I can point straight into there. And then when this drops below the 5 coal, it will automatically refill. Although I do have 4 pieces of coal I can drop in there. I do not, however, have any iron I can pop in here other than this one. So, oh, I think it managed to do a tiny bit of science. It did. And whilst I'm here, I'm going to grab a blueprint book. And I'm going to grab a blueprint. And I will give you guys this setup here. I'll name it in a moment. Pressing Q whilst I hold the blueprint will pop it straight in your inventory. And I will give you guys a copy of one segment of this coal miner line. So, down here for blueprints, or Alt B. And you can just select it, make sure everything's green. If you're not close enough to the inserters, it won't select them, so just make sure that you're over everything. And then let go, and then I'll give you a copy. And then, there you go. If it's blue, when you're trying to place it down, then it means that you can't place it here, because there is no ore here. So you'll find a spot where it is all green, and a spot where it not going to impact with anything. And then you can place it there. And if you place another one next to it, it will automatically adapt to show the right connections. And if you want to get rid of blueprints, you want a deconstruction planner. And you highlight over everything and do it that way. And that did not save the deconstruction planner. Awesome. I'm also going to get rid of that so I can keep that in my inventory. And it has the brilliant, but sometimes it gets rid of the wrong thing. At least we have a tiny bit of automation now. We will make proper smelting setups and things like that in the very near future. I need to wait for this hand to stop crafting things. Actually, I will get it to craft stone furnaces as well. 50 of them should do. So I'll leave it at the default. And if I press yes, then it starts crafting those for me as well as the belts. And I can dump none of my coal in there because I don't have any. So let's go pick up another couple of stacks of coal. Yes. Yes, that's a thing. So let's run along the belt while pressing F, and that will allow us to pick up some coal. And we can run up here and dump that in the iron, because for now we don't have any electricity. There you go, another stack. In fact, new distribution, distribute. Thank you. We do have access to, that's right. We do. So we can make some electric miners. We just have no copper plates. First and foremost though, I would like to make 5, 10, 15, 20 recipes of Powerball, which would actually be 40, 25. So 50 Powerballs. You may think I'm crazy, but we'll need a lot more than that. Do I have any more iron that I can stick in here? I can't stick much of iron in there. There you go. Because handy hands have stopped crafting things for now. Because I don't have any more stone for the stone furnaces. And I've got 100 transport belts. So let me pop down here. And we're going to mine up a little bit of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And handy hands automatically craft the next one of those. And this is fast too slow. So let us think about automating some stuffs. Because that would be rather useful. Rather than me mining everything by hand, I would like one of those and a box to stick in. And let's start making our way over here. So we'll stick that just there, and if you hold left click and you run a straight line, you'll start placing power poles just wherever you can, as long as it's towards the furthest reach of the power, because they've all got a connection distance. Actually, we're going to place one more because we want it close towards the center, and then we can grab the miner, stick it there, grab the box, stick that there, and limit that to actually more than that. Well, limit it more than that. There you go. So now we can get up to 5 stacks of stone. And where is iron in relation to stone? Up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight over the pub hole, press Q, left click, and run. And this just allows me to make a grid of pub holes. And then let's make, apparently not many. What we're running on, probably iron, because we need quite a bit of iron. Still running low on iron, probably. There you go. 5 of those. Do this for now. Probably won't need all 5, but for now, it's not too bad. And 5, there we go. And because of how these are set up, we should be able to pick a random spot. Let's go with here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They will have power. Let's grab transport belt. And we'll run that up here. And then we're going to grab a, or not. Yes, thank you, Handy Hands, for making my life difficult, but also easier. No, that. We'll pop this. And we're good. Awesome. Right there, we're going to have a box put in. And of course, let's do that. And that's just so we can get a box of iron ore going. Why am I making it a box? I don't know. It's not like we need a buffer. Okay, let's not do that. Let us instead grab one of our things like this, and we do that, and that. Now this will be producing iron. Go to that, go to that, go to that, go to that. And then we can maybe actually. No. That'll make later a bit weird. What we've got on research queue. Let's queue up heavy armor, and then we will do fast inserters, steel axes, do long researches, and the green science. You come with me. You can go there. You can come with me. and the handy hands has nothing to do. Awesome. Did I set something? Yes. Yes, I did. I did set up the stone miner. The one that we're using for now. That was a decent amount of stone. Nice. Oh, I'm getting old. He says no full well that he's like 25. Yeah, that viewer earlier. Probably been like, oh yeah, let's just promote your stuff for you. Great. Just go to our website. You can have your own dashboard and everything. Like, yeah, no thanks. I have literally no idea what I want to do with this game. Good, my friend's got 100%. Oh, we've only been live for an hour. Nice. Live for an hour and I still have pretty much no automations up. That's fine. I thought for a second that I had a mod on that I wasn't supposed to. Let's make us a little bit of light armor, because that will be helpful for when the biters attack. Because they will, at some point. I'm hoping that I've got some proper automation set up by that point. Let us... We're going to need to actually design some smelting stacks at some point. So let us do that now, and then we can decide where we want our smelting stacks, which way we want to... yeah, we're going to end up going up. So probably going to have smelting stacks going this way, probably about here. So they're out of the way of the iron and copper. The iron and the copper both go up. The iron will probably use the first melting stack, and then the copper will continue up. It's the second smelting stack. We'll have the output on the far side, and then go up from there into the rest of the base. That sounds like a plan. So let's start about here, designing the smelting stacks, and let's make sure we're above. Let's go just above these trees. So we can design, yes. So I want this to be in the middle of my smelting stack, which means I'm going to need belts, undergrounds, and splitters. For these splitters, we're going to have a splitter right here facing this way, another one right there. We're just have another one. Let's bring fuel up from the bottom. So, about like that. We are also going to have a belt like that. It's going to run forwards. It's going to come from down here. Not quite sure where down there. We're going to have, if you hold shift whilst holding an item, you can make a ghost of it. So that's just what I'm doing here. Some bolts going these ways. And we're going to line up the output with that. So the output is going to be coming down here. We're going to need inserters, and we're going to need balancers. We need power holes. Inserters, we're going to have there, and there, there, and there, 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 and there. We're going to have these there, 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 and there. He's going to have these come down here and go like that. And like that. Which means these need to come from here. So the underground needs to start just here. And go to just there. It needs to start just here. Go to there. Which means we need a bit of that there. We need that to continue that on. And then we will get power bowls here, 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 and here. You can get away with just 3 of these and get rid of one of these 2 cylinder ones, but I like to use 4 so that everything is uniform. Some people also put these 2 on this side so that they're a mirror image. So it's almost as if you've got a blueprint, rotate it, slaps it here. I don't do that myself, but you can. And then what we're going to do is we're going to grab this, drag down to right there, create a blueprint. I'm going to make sure we can line it up. I'm going to slap it down. And then we're going to go into that blueprint, which is this one here. Snap to grid. Save. Oh no. Let's do relative. What is the snapping command I have to press? I don't know. There we go. Probably a few too many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Hold the phone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Huh. That blueprint's messed up. So everything from this point can get cancelled because the blueprint messed up. Oh, I've gone too far. That's fine, I can fix it in a second. And I will also show you guys another one of the blueprints that I've got in a second. Because it's a rather nice blueprint. Right. I'll remove the trick. Like these. Highlight. Get rid. And then press Q. And it doesn't even go into your inventory. Which is pretty sweet. And then let's grab you. Highlight over a section. Hold Shift. Press click. Hold click. And there we go. And we will do... Sure. Everything else seems perfectly fine. Yes. And then we will blueprint the entire thing. There we go. And quit. Actually, I do want that blueprint. Because we're going to go same above down below. So, and we're going to make a second blueprint. Because we have two different resources we'd like to smelt. And we're not yet producing a full belt of resources. So we can afford to have everything just output from the same smeltery. If that was not the case, and we were producing over a full belt of items, then naturally we would want to use two different smelteries for that, because we can't produce more than a single belt of items on a smeltery that can only produce one belt of items. That's just not how that works, sadly. Although in the very near future, within the next year, the creators of Factorio are bringing out an expansion, and part of that expansion will include the ability to make stacks of items on belts, which would then mean that once you unlock the ability to stack items, you'd be able to swap the output inserters on these smelting arrays for ones that can handle that sort of thing. And then you'd be able to yeah, because they're making bulk inserters essentially, and they will be able to make stacks of items on belts. So that's quite nice, because then you can massively increase the output of your smelting arrays, just due to the simple fact of having more items in the same spot on a belt. Because for now, you can only have one item on the belt at a time. These are belts you can get at the start and transport 15 items per second, as seen on the right hand side. I'm getting all of the notifications today. Did my friend forget the fact that I'm streaming today? apparently all of them are like, oh, you want to be left alone? How about we just not? We want love. We want you to know that we exist. Let's start building a little bit of the smelting arrays, because they are not going to build themselves yet. Sadly. There's a mod that you can get called nanobots, bots, and that will give you logistic robots basically from the start of the game. Just really shit versions of them. Naturally, because why would you want good versions of them when you can have shit versions of them? No, it's actually because of the thing with having to balance it. So you get a nanobot gun and you can shoot little capsules of nanobots out, and then the nanobots will follow you for a certain amount of time, and then after that, they won't. I love how it's only making a maximum of like 10 of these holes at a time. So it always leaves me with 2, because of just how this works. But yeah, so coal will come in here, go under these 2 belts, because it will eventually be 2 belts if we add more smelting stacks out here. It'll come in here, come back up here, we'll cross this belt, hit the splitter. The splitter means that half of it will go this way, and the other half will go this way into this other splitter, which will split whatever comes this way between going up and going down. Ore comes in here, gets put on the other side of the belt. So, ore on the outside, coal on the inside, or fuel on the inside. To be a little bit more accurate, I am not loving these connections because they are all over the place. So we are going to come in here and find, if I can, where is my... I know I've got it somewhere. Power grid comb. And we're gonna select up here and all the way across here. And what that's going to do is it's just going to reconnect everything and make everything connected a little bit better. Because my god, does it look like shit sometimes. We're actually going to try that again. Okay, no. Is there a power grid comb settings in my mod settings? No. Okay. No settings for it, just sure. We will deal with that then. See, it's really good in some places. And then it's like, oh yeah, I know, let's connect this to this one for some unknown reason. And it's like, if you could not, that would be beautiful, because, like, no. That is not a good power network. I love the reach distance in Factorio, because it is stupid. Like, can you see this? I mean, obviously, unless you're blind. Like, yeah, just casually place this furnace an entire smelting stack away. Because, you know, I've got super arms, clearly. Although, to be fair, this is also the same game where you can craft a nuclear reactor in your inventory and carry trains in your inventory. So, maybe it's not that unrealistic that the reach distance is how big it is. Because it's not the first time you've been able to do something stupid like that in this game. Considering how much stuff you can carry. Okay, and we will do the bottom smelting stack first because that's the iron. And we're going to go for the top belt. Then we're going to go for the output belt. I'm actually going to remove that belt there. We're going to place a belt right there. And the same on this side. And then with whatever's left over, we're going to run that down. Let's go get some more iron. From way down here. I'll just let Handy Hands do what Handy Hands does at this point. And yes, of course, it's crafted a couple too many, so it's ended up putting them there. Cool. Handy Hands, do what you do. Sure, that's definitely the way I would have done that. Oh, Handy Hands, you do make me laugh sometimes. Let's run this belt slightly higher. Back to there. And then to speed this process up slightly, I'm going to have to move that. That is perfectly fine, because what we can do is I can place that there, destroy that, put that down. And then this is a nice little self-contained unit. I'm going to put that there, grab you, put you there, and give you some of that. Pick up some of that, put you right there, and right there. Grab you, there, there. Stack of coal, stack of coal, bubble, right there. Now I've got 4 furnaces, and I can just, you know, yes, holding left click and dragging your mouse across multiple, holding control whilst you hold left click and drag your mouse over a couple of furnaces will just let you pick up from all of them at the same time. one after the other. Everyone you move to, it's just like, yep, cool. Just pick up more iron. Very useful. I'm wondering when it's going to craft me more inserters, because that's what I really need right now. Inserters and belts. I don't need right now at least. I don't particularly need copper. Not copper. Undergrounds and splitters and all the rest of it. Let's pick up some copper and see if that helps any. Apparently not. So that's the thing. Shut up. And let's come back over here and just split up. Sure, that makes so much sense. All of the sense. Yes. That is a long way away. And yes, I'm aware this isn't going to help my Handy Hands situation of Handy Hands being a bit too crafty. But it will help my sanity. It really won't. We all know I'm insane, it's okay. Laying down ghost copies of things often helps you realise that you know exactly what you're doing anyway. God damn it. I was exactly right with how far I wanted to take that belt. That does not happen very often. Please do not think that I'm actually skilled at this game. I mean, to be fair, I've got a couple thousand hours in here, in this game. Yeah, you should definitely buy this game. If you're thinking about buying it. Because it's a very fun game and definitely won't take over your entire world. Your entire life, including all of your social media. The factory must grow. That is my excuse. My excuse is the factory must grow. I haven't actually built half the factory, but you know, the factory must grow. It's going to take me a while to get everything set up the way I want it set up. I should have put down more. Just in general. In general, I definitely need more. Just more of everything. Yep. Why are you not crafting these? Considering they only take copper, which you have plenty of, and a tiny bit of iron. But no, you would much rather craft the belts. Okay. I guess I can finish off putting the belts down here. And then just collect a shit ton of that. It's also not doing those, but that's fine. Let's run that towards base. Yeah, I've got wood and I've got copper. And you know I want small electric poles. Ha! I tricked you into making some small electric poles. Fuck you. So what I should have done is connected all of the inserters that I need and don't have to the power network. So now what I can start doing is this. Yes, my children. Oh, fuck, it made them inserters. I was not expecting that one, to be perfectly honest. I was half expecting it to just not ever craft inserts. But no, apparently it's decided inserts are a great thing to craft. I didn't even get half of my thing all inserted up. That is impressive. Let's see if I can't get this all the way down to the coal. I mean, I can, but it's using some undergrounds to get past that one tree. This one, right here. See? Undergrounds. We don't like that. Oh, wrong thing. There we go. And then we can drag that down. See where it's going to end up adding those. Okay, that's fine enough. We're going to end up having a splitter on this. And then we can do that. Run that back this way. Connect that in with that. And then there we go. Get rid of this. Replace it with belts. Get rid of this. Replace that structure with belts. Get rid of this, just glue it on the colour. I'm joking, there's nothing wrong with the colour, I just don't like trees by my belts. Let's just replace that. Oh, it's those ones I destroyed. Okay. Cool, cool. Splitter, yes. Because I can at least do that. Wow, that's a little way away. Okay. Cool. Yeah, you can shut up, copper. Iron that I want. Because I need belts, and I need more inserters, and I need more... Yeah, just need more. In general. At this point, I'm hoping that I haven't fucked up and forgot to unmute at some point or something. You just occasionally hear me take a drink because I pressed the mute button whilst I'm taking a drink, which might be unmuting me. I'm also hoping that I'm not, bitchy as fuck and that you guys can actually hear me and understand me, but we will see. Keep giving this more iron to craft into things for me. Yeah, got plenty of iron and plenty of copper. Cool. Let's see what it decides to do with all of the iron copper. See if it decides to ever actually make more inserters. It's made 9. I've got 9 inserters. Will it make more? Let's see. If it doesn't end up making more, I will just add it to my logistics requests that I would like more, and it will craft more. Also, you can hear the noises in the background. It is me going for a smoke. I think it's decided that it's satisfied with 10 of each of those. Let me see what that's saying. See, that's more reasonable. Let's put that in. Let's put undergrounds in at 50. And let's put splitters in at 50. It made an extra belt and it doesn't like that, so it's trying to get rid of it in my trash cloths. There we go. Just have to wait for it to start crafting. Because now it's crafting more. But yes, I am making smoke. So that is what you can hear in the background. For anyone asks, tobacco. I don't want to see discussion of it in my comments. It's tobacco. It will always be tobacco. It will only ever be tobacco. So I don't think that any different can keep that opinion to themselves. If you guys are wanting updates on when I go live and when I post things and all of that sort of thing, you are quite welcome to check out my Discord and my Guilded server. My Guilded server should actually give you a notification when I go live, whereas my Discord server is not set up to. If you want to catch my content earlier than anyone else, or just earlier than non-patrons, you are also welcome to check out the Patreon in my link tree. Which will be linked in the description below on YouTube and on Twitch. If you just let me know that you'd like my link tree, I can link it in chat. Or if I've linked it recently, it will appear on the lower left of the screen. So it should be roughly here-ish if I've posted it recently. Let me be up for a second. There we go. Alright, if I sound a little weird, it's because I've got smoke in my mouth. And for those of you that can't understand people when they have smoke in their mouth and they're trying to talk, if I sound a little bit weird, it's because I've got smoke in my mouth. Let me pick up everything from here again, and we're going to give it 5 minutes for these furnaces to fill up. And during this 5 minutes, I'm going to have a smoke, go to the loo, grab a drink, all the normal things. So those of you on Twitch, if you're waiting for a good time to stop watching and go and do things, like go to the loo and grab a drink and have a smoke and all the rest of it, now is the perfect time. If you're watching the VOD on YouTube, or any of the broken down versions of the pre-recorded live stream, then you could pause the stream anytime. I'm not worried. But if you're wanting a good time to pause, that time would be now, because we're about to go on break. Yeah. Enjoy the break. I'll still be sat here potentially chatting to you guys, but very much gameplay for the next few minutes. We've currently been live for about an hour and 45 minutes now. And we're going to be going for about 4 hours today. Like most streams. Well, like all of my Factorio streams. I am hoping to at least have the new smelting setups for the iron and the coal, the iron and the copper, sorry, done by the end of stream. And then we can start making actual setups for things instead of what we're doing now, which is just manually transferring items across. But it's okay, because we've got 2 hours to do that. If you're watching this video on YouTube and I sound a little quiet or anything like that, please let me know in the comments below, and I will try and fix it for next stream. But please be aware, you will be seeing content a lot later than people that are catching it live, potentially. Because the patrons get to see my content first. If you're watching this through the Patreon awards, hi, thank you for subscribing to my Patreon. Because I'm just some random Joe blogs on the internet producing not very entertaining content. I mean, at the moment you're staring at me not playing the game. So that's amazing. Yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoy. And hopefully you stick around, subscribe to the Patreon, subscribe on my Guilded server, that sort of thing. I am planning on eventually making content creation my main source of income, but I will get the numbers to that as soon as I get the numbers for that. I don't produce content for big numbers. I produce content because I find it fun. And I'm enjoying myself, and I enjoy what I make. I've always found that if people are making content for big numbers, just because they want to be famous and they want to get the YouTube monetization threshold so they can monetize their YouTube videos and make money from it, or anything like that, they get burnt out very quickly. because they're like, I just want to get to this threshold so that I can start making loads of money and all of that sort of thing. And they will always be chasing some goal that, while it is obtainable for some people, the vast majority of content creators will never get to that point because they don't produce high quality content. And people that are chasing big numbers, generally speaking, aren't producing content that is enjoyable. Whereas the people that are making content for fun, like me, we achieved our goals. Our goal is to make something that we enjoy making, not make something that is going to get lots and lots of followers and lots of subscribers and all that sort of thing. Not that I don't appreciate you guys following and subscribing and checking out all my content and things so that you can enjoy what I create too. Gives me a little bit of a serotonin boost, a bit of a dopamine boost to see you guys enjoying my content. And it's nice for everyone, because you get to enjoy more of my content, and I get to enjoy making more content for you. Hey, at some point, I might be big enough to actually make decent income from my social media career. I'm not gonna chase it. It's not worth chasing. If I chase it, I'm gonna burn out. Just like 90% of the creators that go on YouTube thinking, oh yeah, I'll just make videos and get tons and tons of followers, and no. If you're producing content because you like big numbers, you're producing content for all the wrong reasons. You should produce content because you enjoy what you create, not because you want tons of followers. Oh, I'm gonna have to go grab more coal. Also, you can have that because I don't want it. Looks like my science lab has run out of material to process, but that's okay. But yes, so how is my content going to work these days? I guess I know I'm saying this to a chat of no viewers, but if you're on YouTube watching this, then you'll still hear me say it, so it's worth saying. On the Twitch streams, I will be making blueprints that I hope people find useful. On my TikTok, I will be making just short couple-minute videos explaining what the blueprint does, much like I've been explaining in the live stream anyway. On YouTube, for some more complicated blueprints, I'll be going to more of a deep dive of why I've used that many machines and how much can a particular module produce, how do you stack modules together in order to produce more, how many of the blueprint modules can you stack for of whatever, how do you upgrade the blueprint, all that sort of thing. Yes, I know I say far too much, it's because I'm trying to think. And on my Instagram, I will be just uploading little pictures of my blueprints so that you guys can have a picture that you can follow along. If you subscribe to my Patreon, one of my Patreon rewards will be a link to a Google Drive where you can download my blueprints. On the last, I'll show you what I'm calling each of the blueprints so that you can know which blueprint to download for what reason. There'll be the option of downloading a single blueprint if you just want the start for the smelting arrays. I was press the button, there we go. And there will also be the option of downloading a blueprint book, which will contain all of the blueprints that I made during a particular stream. So today's stream and all of the blueprints you can see in my inventory will end up in the blueprint book that I have in my inventory, and I'll be sharing a copy of that stream on my Patreon. As well as the other 4 blueprints, just as strings for the one blueprint that you might want. So there is the basic science, the singular module of a smelting setup. There is the coal mining module, and there is the full smelting setup, including the start. One thing I will do in a moment is go over to the smelting modules and copy just the start, so you guys can also have a copy of that. And you guys have seen how I connect the modules together, so that's good. I will also explain how to connect the modules together on the deep dive YouTube video on my smelting setup. So you guys know how to, so that you guys can watch that YouTube video and see how to connect the smelting modules together so that you can have the coal flowing through all of them. Let's actually get that sorted now. Yeah, I knew that have problems soon. I also need to... Yes. So whilst I'm here, I might as well... Actually, it's probably going to be easier to go from here. And we can fix that a little bit and drag the belt down. The good thing is, if I wander off of my line, because I'm following a blueprint, it's just going to stick to the line of the blueprint. And I do not have enough belts. That is perfectly fine. Yep, this is still producing far too much coal. That's okay, because once I've got this connected, I want to know that it's producing enough to send some up here. And I'm going to grab a blueprint, and I'm going to blueprint that way there. that there because that's not part of the blueprint. And I'm going to create a blueprint. So now there's a blueprint of the starting module, which is exactly the same as that, and exactly the same as that right there. So to connect them together, you just line up the underground belts. And then let's open up the blueprint book. And let's move all of the blueprints into the blueprint book so they're not taking up space in inventory. And once you've got the blueprint book, you hold shift, not control, and scroll wheel, you can scroll through all the blueprints. If you're placing something like this blueprint, you can hold shift, pick where you want to start it. So for example, right here, and if it's got that little green dashed line around it, it will stamp it down according to the green outline. So we'll just snap it to the end, which makes expanding these really simple. While I'm here, I do believe all of those are real. Yes. So let's grab this blueprint, this item, this version of the inserters, and I can start snapping down all of these inserters. I may also have too many furnaces for the amount of furnaces that I'm going to be using, but it's good to have slightly too much. Slightly too much is never a problem because it just means that you're producing more than you're using, which just means that some of the furnaces aren't going to kick in as frequently. And I can collect all of the iron from down here, and I'm going to collect some coal so that I can put coal in all of the machines. And then whilst I'm down here, I'll try and finish up connecting the coal to... Actually, let's connect the coal to that line now. Because if I do connect coal to the smelting line, then I don't need the other smelters. Because once that coal reaches the smelting setup, that'll just feed itself coal automatically, which is slightly more efficient than my current setup, which is the little miners that are just up here. These furnaces that are just off the edge. So what I can do is mine up all of that, and then mine up each of these. And I need to keep this here because that's how the power's getting to the miners. Let's watch the coal come in. Because I don't know about you guys, but I enjoy watching things switch on. And we can start using some of the resources I have in order to build the copper setup, which will produce far more copper than I'm actually using, but that's fine. I'm hoping within the next couple of hours, I will manage to get the copper set up and also something producing the science packs automatically, and then putting them into science labs. Because then we can do everything we need to in order to produce science automatically. which means we don't need to worry about red signs anymore until we want to increase production. Well, I don't think I'm producing coal fast enough for all of my furnaces, but that's okay because some furnaces will turn off at some point, and we can come down to the end here, and we press F, and that will allow us to pull in all of the iron that these furnaces are producing. It does look like it's at least reaching the 9th set of furnaces, just not reaching the last ones for now, but that's okay. Oh, there you go. We managed to reach the last ones, so that is pretty good. There you go, got plenty of that, and we do not have a lot of copper. So let's go and collect some copper, and they'll build the smelters for it, and then we will connect it to some miners. I have no idea if this has actually started producing. I have no idea how much this has actually produced. But it's enough I can start making some stuff. It's just not going to mine very much more because it doesn't have any fuel, so let's pop a little bit of fuel in there. And it's going to make the second setup. I have 10 furnaces for some reason. Let's actually go back to stone and collect some more stone, because I'm going to need more than 10 furnaces. I'm going to need 20. I forget how many furnaces is a full line, but I know it's less than 20. More than 20, sorry. There you go, producing some more furnaces. And that's enough furnaces for the entire setup. Furnaces, so there are 40 inserters, I want to say. Let's open this, find this, and yeah, 14 inserters. There's on the at the bottom which says total resources. Which is very useful. And obviously I've already put down all of the stone furnaces, so we don't actually need any stone furnaces for it. We do have any belts, so it's good we've got some. We'll do the belts going up first, and that was the wrong button. Let's press R, there we go, R again, so we'll go down. And then we can do the across this way. There is no use for this, so simply remove it with a right click. And actually I'm going to remove that, and that, and that, and that, because there's no use to those either. The only use is for if I wanted to connect it to another module. These modules can't actually connect because you can't align the belts. Because if you try and align the belts, you end up having furnaces overlapping each other. So I just have to put a couple of belts down to connect it, but that's perfectly fine. While I'm here, let's pick up a bunch load more iron. And I think the only thing left is inserters. Because the apples are done, that's done, that's done, that's done. Yeah, just the inserters. let's use my first 20 inserters right here. And I'm probably not crafting anymore because I need copper. So we'll go pick up some copper in a second. There we go. And let's go pick up some copper and try and get another 15 inserters crafted. Because then we can finish the other side, and then it's just belting down to here in order to get everything sorted. Hope everyone's enjoying the stream. And if you're watching over on YouTube, I hope you're enjoying the video. And I hope that you guys will stick around and watch more of my content. Maybe check out my other social media. My link tree will be in the description. If you're watching on Twitch, just say in chat that you want a copy of it, and I will give you a copy of my link tree. I'll post it in chat for you. That's very odd. Currently live. Twitch. Sorry, one of my bots on my Gilded server didn't actually pull up that I'm live on Twitch, which is very interesting. I'll have to check that out, because it doesn't seem that it's picked up on my live properly. Sorry, the Gilded server is very new, so a couple of teething problems. And if you could craft some more inserters, that would be brilliant, rather than spending all of my resources on splitters that I'm not going to use for a while. To be fair, splitters are first in the queue, so that'll be why. And that's why I don't have much iron in my inventory. Okay. Really? You fucked off. Let's give that the 12 that I have there. And I actually want to slightly change something down here, because I want to click on here and output priority to the right, because I want it to power the power setup with a greater priority than powering everything else, but the furnaces. And you can have a stack of iron, which also means that I can pop some more iron in my inventory from there. Because I've got it set up so that if I've got any more than 100 iron, it starts trying to get rid of it. Which, to be fair, I've got a large surplus of iron. Really? You decided to craft a splitter? I need more inserters. Stupid thing. Thank you for the inserters. There we go. Now I have enough inserters. I can finish the setup now. I finished the smelting stack. Give me a second. Sorry, I had to cough. I don't want to cough in you guys' ears if you're wearing headphones. Right, I needed 20 because I'd already done half of them. I am an idiot sometimes, but that is okay. We can all be a little bit idiotic at times. And let's bring this out a little bit. And we need to get that down to the copper setup down there. And then we'll make some electric miners, plug it in, and then we'll have plenty of copper. Sounds like a plan. So let's go. And yes, it automatically adds the undergrounds, so we don't need to worry. That's just added another underground there, which means there's a tree in the way. And we can just do that. And because my handy hands is crafting even more belts for me, I can just lay more down. And then get some more of that out, get some more of that out, get some more of that out. And I've actually got enough belts. Okay. Let me craft. I need copper for that. So that's a load. 5 for now. Waiting for my shit to craft. See, this is why I set my live stream to warn people that there's an excessive use of profanity. I'm British, so I swear a fuck ton. Yes, well, when none of this is going to be getting power yet. But that's fine. That looks like about the middle of the patch. At least along this line. No, do you want to let me put it down that far away? Okay. I'll get slightly closer, I guess. And then we can mix that in just there. We're going to need a couple of power poles. We're going to need one there, works, and there works. And then let's drag this up. Just up, in general. And eventually we'll hit right there. There we go. And now the coal mine has power. So that's going to start producing some, not the coal mine, sorry, copper mines. Copper mine has power, so that will start producing copper for us. Low power. We can sort that out. Let's pick one of them. And we need to go over to the power setup. The mod that adds the little coloured things to these to let me know that they're running on power or they're working okay or stuff like that is called bottleneck. In case you guys are wanting 2 there. You're going to need a power pole next to you. So we're going to stick one right there. And then, yeah, power's okay. Right, because power's okay, I'm going to take another one of my little breaks. And I will be with you guys again shortly. So, if you guys need to go to the loo or anything, please feel free to go right now. Okay, that's fine. Okay, and we are back. Let's go check on my copper setup. Because now we can start thinking about a little something called the main bus. Because I like making main bus bases. Main bus bases just being bases that have belts that go in one direction that everything else comes off of. For me, that direction is going to be straight up. We're going to go up just after these trees. So let's start making where that main bus is going to be. We're going to have copper first, and we're actually going to go up about there. Which means we want the iron to be about that. And if I had bots, I would use bots to run these up, but I do not. Let's actually not go that high. Go about that high. That just gives plenty plenty of room to work with. And then the first setup we're going to be working on is something to actually make red lines. So a good starting point for everything is about 60 signs per minute, which means you're producing one every second. Now, I'm not great at knowing how big to build things, but that is where a nice little mod that I've got, nice little quality of life mod, hell mod comes in, which is what this planner button is. So I can click on that, it brings up a little thing where I can plan everything. Let's set the base time to a minute, and let us add a recipe. We're going to want red science, and we're going to want 60 minutes. So that is going to take 10 assembly machines, which is perfectly fine. We're also going to need some of these. We're going to actually need one assembly machine producing gears, which is really nice. And then we're going to need a little bit of iron, a little bit of copper. As you can see, we have to overbuild those. Which means we don't need to worry about either of them. Let's remove those. We've already got that set up. But this is what we're going to build. So we're going to have one assembly machine handling the gear wheels, and then we're going to have those gear wheels and that copper going into the 10 assembly machines that are going to make the automation science packs. So let's design something that will do that. I'm kind of liking the fact that these two are together. So what we're going to do is we are going to have our iron come in, and it's going to go up and onto no. It's going to go down and onto that side of the belt. And then we're going to have copper come just here. I'm going to pop you on there. So we can grab one of you. We set it up just here. I'm going to have one of you like that. One of you like that. So it's going to take the iron from one side, put the gears on the other. We're going to have the copper come in, and we're actually going to have the copper come in here, go to this side of the belt. Yes, we're going to move this. Let's figure out where to. So the iron is going to be on the top. The gear is going to be on the bottom. So actually we're going to have the copper up here. Because what we're going to do is we're going to have one of those just like that. And what that's going to do is that the gear wheels on the bottom are going to be able to enter into this and go up, whereas the iron on the top is going to stop here because of the shroud. So the shroud means that you can't get the top line in, but you can get the bottom line in. You can achieve the same result with a splitter, because splitters can have filters on them, so only certain items can go down certain paths of the splitter. And I'm going to have this come up here and join in with the copper line. we're going to have you there, you there, you there, and now I've got a line just down there. We are then going to have yes, yes. I'm liking this plan. Ah, okay. So we'll move that across one. That's fine. And you don't actually reach that, but that's fine because we're going to have one U. That sucks. There. And then we're going to have 1 and 2. And does this reach? It does. Good. And then we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. 1. So that's 2, 4. Skip a towel. 5, 6. Skip a towel. 7, 8. Skip a towel. 9, 10. We're going to have these go in between. We're going to have these go you, 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 and you. We're going to have you run all the way down to there. We'll have you run all the way down to there. But also a little bit forward. Not quite that much. And then we're going to have, just grab it like this. One of those right there. And then one of you there. That is looking good to me. So copper is going to be coming from here and going there because then the cables can go there. That's fine. We're going to pop splitter there, and that means that this can run forwards. This can run to there. And then we're going to want another splitter lined up with that, for that, which means we're going to want this belt to jump like that. You can go there, you can go there, you can go there. You can run just like that. You can run like that. Of course I can't, that'd be far too simple. They're both set up so if I get more than 400, it just starts fucking crashing it. also 5, 10, 11. Okay, now it's started trashing the copper, so I just need iron. Oh yeah, hand hands won't actually craft anything while I've got stuff like that. So they go stuck trashing that as well. Let's do that, 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 that. There we go. Go ahead. Play nice in my chat, I'll have you removed. I know my audio is not the best today. I am trying. Let's just do this. There we go. I do believe we made at least one of those. Everything's complaining of power because I haven't actually hooked this up to power yet, but that's okay because we're not done making it. There we go. And then we want that. Shift, right click, and we can run that down, and it will copy the recipe down to everything else. That looks okay to me. So let me grab some power poles. And let's hope that I can get this connected to the rest of the base. How far would I put everything? There. One there, and one there. And everything's connected. So now we get to see if this all works. There we go. Look at that beauty. Everything's working as intended. That is pretty sweet to see. And then those should come down. And there we go. So now we are producing 1 science every second. Which also means technically we might be able to get away with more science labs. Which is quite simple to add to. So just do that, and then do that. There we go. So now we're making science at double the speed. And researching everything at double the speed. So that is gorgeous. We do like some nice efficient science. There you go. And yeah, not doing too much with science. So let's add another one of these setups. Now we're doing science 3 times as fast as we were. Let us see if we're going too fast. Looks like we're still building up. Definitely seem to be building up science still, so let us put another science lab down. Do our science just a little bit faster. Right now, just trying to work out how much science I can do. Well, how quickly I can do science. And very soon we'll run out of science we can do. In about half an hour, so by the end of the stream. And then next stream we can work on... we can work on this stream. A little bit anyway. Logistic science packs. They take transport belts and yellow inserters. Shouldn't be too difficult to set up. Might manage to get it set up this stream. Might have to wait until next stream to finalise it. That's just iron and iron gear wheels, so not too bad. And that is electronic circuits. Ooh, yes, let us set up an electronic circuit build because those are fun. We can pull off at this line. We want one of those. We want some of that. Some of that. Not quite sure where that's going to end up going, so let's not do that for now. We want... it is a 3-to-2 ratio. So 1, 2, 3 of those to 1, 2 of those. This is going to make copper cable. And this is going to make the electronic circuits itself. We're going to get 1, 2, 3 in. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. 1 in, 1 in, 1 out, 1 out. We're going to have a iron input line. And we're going to have the output line right there. That's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. What needs to be input and input. This is going to be the output, and we're going to use these bad boys for it. So let's stick them just here, so we can grab that. Have one there and one there. It's just easier that way. We are going to have one of these right there and right there. we're going to have you come like that, and like that. That's okay. That is okay. I'm going to have you there, not also there, you there, you there. You can go out like this. You and you. You come along like that. You go. Really? I have that to start with. I'm taking those. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. In that way. Out that way. In there. In there. Out there. Out there. Right, yeah. Might need to move that back one. Yes. And that lines up with that, which means that that is right there. Yes. Looks like it'll work. And we've got another one of those just there, and just there. Spoilers like that. So that is it's a setup. It's just missing the power holes. So I'm going to stick power hole right there, one in there, one in there, one there, one there, one there, one there, and one there. One there, and one there. That's everything. The only thing missing is to actually get all the inserters. Because we are missing the long-handed inserters, and we're missing this half of it. Sorry. Didn't mean to cough in your face, everybody. Or in your ears. Oh, he's more iron. And yes, you can open up your inventory whilst you're picking up items. You just need to make sure you keep pressing the F key. You can also move stuff about in your inventory and all the rest of it. There we go. And then I need to bring this up to about there. Grab a little bit further than that. There we go. That can come all the way up to there. I can actually come up and join it. Not there. We need a splitter just there. I'm going to have come off like that, and yes, we will. Let that come off like that, which means we need splitter just there. And we need a splitter right there. We need some underground belts, just like that. We need that to go forwards like that. We need a belt in there, connecting that to that. There we go. And then out of spare. I've got a whole hour to do things in. Ooh. Let me right click there. Shift left click. No? Okay. Phone, if you could stop sliding back over that would be brilliant. I'm also going to go 1, damn it, 2, 3, and 4. And that flashing warning symbol means we're going to need a power here and a power here. There we go. Green inserters. Green circuits. Which we are going to take out, just like this. Not like that. And I'm going to stick them alongside everything else. Naturally, that also means that we're going to need an underground, just like that. And now the green circuits are on bus, everything else. There we go. See, I knew we'd managed to do it. Enough, yeah, oh, yeah. That. so I don't stand in the way. And there's the other side. And now we're going to grab a blueprint, select all of that. Looking good. Go blueprint. And the way to hook this up is not like this, but like this. So you want to make sure that the splitter section is all blue. That way the left and the right can share a single line offshoot, and then it should all output into the middle. And obviously you've got this side producing stuff for this side of the belt, and this side producing for this side of the belt. And when they come through the splitters will the splitters don't change what lane things are on. So this is just a way to make sure that you've got stuff on both sides of the belt, even though the inserters only output on one side of the belt. Because otherwise you would need a way of putting this stuff onto the other side of the belt, and then put this stuff on that side of the belt. Or you'd have to bring this out, go under, and put it on this side of the belt. Or the same this side, you'd have to like bring it out, underground it, and put it back on the other side of the belt, so that you can have both sides of the belt filled. Whereas using something like this, it's producing one belt load. So actually we can remove that, at least for now, because it's only producing one belt load. I think there's a slightly different setup for green belts that will balance it between the two sides of the belt, which I think it does by having these offshoots be for the green circuits and then bring it in and like underground the iron past where it's inputting the green circuits, and it would just have these go in and then use the long-handed to bring it out slightly further, so that it can come in and hit like a splitter here across these two belts that would then put everything on this belt onto here, and then you've got the undergrounds that would take the iron over. But I don't like that design for something simple like this. Not for this particular instance, because in this instance we don't need something like that. We just need something that's going to produce a belt of green circuits, and I don't even think this is doing that. Let's grab our rate calculator, and let's actually check the rate that this is producing it. So this is producing 720 per minute, 240 per minute. Yeah, 240 per minute. It's producing 60 per minute times the 4 machines. And it is using 720 of these per minute. It's perfect ratio, which is why you're seeing 720 per minute produced, 720 per minute consumed. Because one machine producing that takes 3 copper cables and an iron, and one of those reduces two. One copper is two of those. So if one copper is two of those, three copper would be six of them, which is then used by two machines. Because otherwise you've got one of those coming in, which is then producing two. So that would be 1.5 machine cycles for one of those. So you've got the second machine to reduce the half cycle, but then you've got this third machine that needs to produce 1.5 cycles for this machine. So this middle machine just gets split between them, because then these are both getting one cycle from this, one cycle from this, and then both of them getting half cycle from this one. And then you've got that on both sides, which is quite nice. And those are needed in the undergrounds. Yeah. The inserters. I have no iron. Again. So I need more iron. Again. Anyone sensing a very common theme here? Because I know I am. It's called I Never Have Enough Iron. But hey, at least I'm managing to research things. Let's hope we can get green science up before we need green science. Yeah. Let's try and get green science sorted before we need it. And yes, for those of you following along at home, this blueprint will be available on my Patreon as part of the book and as a solo blueprint. Right, so we need iron and gear wheels. Okay. Iron gear wheels make belts, so I can do that quite easily. And then that needs iron gear wheels and electronic circuits. So if I split, maybe? Sorry, think about how I want to do this. It's okay, we've got an hour to build it, so. Alright, let's add a new production line. The recipe to that production line, and it is going to be green science. Base time of 1 minute. Production of 60 per minute. So 1 per second. We're going to need 12 producing that, okay. We're going to need that and that. Oh wow, we've got plenty of green circuit production, because we only need one assembly machine producing it. We've got 4. How much gear wheels do we need? 2? I'm going to do 2. And then we need 1 producing that, 1 producing that. And then together they will produce that. So I'm thinking, actually, we can probably get away with just having a long-handed instead of it. Yes, and then we can do that trick. I'm liking the idea of that. So 16? Yeah, 16. 16 assembly machines. Let me add right here assembly machine 1, and we want not 50. We want 20. I very much doubt I'm going to get a build anytime soon that has more than that in it. But also, I would like to grab a bit of you. Let's grab plenty of you. So I can have up to 400 view. Without ever feeling bad about myself. It's amazing. And 32 stacks. Okay, that's enough of that. Let's grab a little bit more of these things. A bit more of this. Go. And then let's start making this. Okay. So we are going to jump that like that. Jump that like that. We're going to have that come one further. Grab one of these, just like that. Run this along like this. Then we're going to bring this out. We're going to hit along an extra one. We're going to come down like this. Now we'll run into its own little belt. It's a little half belt. Now we need two of these. 1 and 2. And they are going to be set up just like this. So these are our gear wheels. So now we have iron and gear wheels on this belt, green circuits on this belt. We need iron and green circuits here, iron and gear wheels here. We need iron, gear wheels and green circuits here. Interesting. So what I'm seeing is that we need 1 and 2. Because if you look in the planner, we need 1 making this and 1 making this. Very interesting. Whilst you guys work out what I'm planning on doing with the other 12 and how I'm going to hook that up, I'm going to go to a quick 5-minute break. Well, a quick 30-second break. Sorry about that, thought I heard someone at the door. I didn't. When I opened up my front door, had a little look out, nothing. Absolutely no one. Okay, so, in terms of hooking these up, the first one of these, which is going to have single input. This one though, this one is a little bit different, because it's going to have one of these, but it's also going to have one of these, because it needs to take from this belt as well. Now in terms of outputs, we're going to have this like this, and no we're not. Have this like this, and we're going to have this like this. We're going to have this output all the way over here, and this output over here. We're going to run this along. I'm going to run this up, because this is an output on the far side of that belt. This is then going to put these on the near side, which means right here we're going to have both these, which come from here, and these, which come from here. So this is going to be the transport belts. This is going to be inserters, and these are both going to be cables. Now we need 1, 2, new gap, 4, new gap, 5, 6, new gap, 7, 8, new gap, 9, 10, new gap, 11, 12. All of these will be reducing from this. And actually we're going to do that. We're going to rotate that to come down here. And then we're going to run this all the way to here. We're going to run this all the way apparently to there. Interesting. And then you, 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 you. I'm going to place inserters on all of these, same place every time. You don't need to get too complicated with it. And then these will produce the green signs, but I don't have the option to set the recipe yet because I haven't researched it, which is fine. And then we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of those. And that's everything. The only thing I need to do is pick up some more iron, so I don't have enough, so I can make a bunch more of these belts. Because I need to get this belt right here, all the way to here, and that belt all the way over to that. And I need to get the output belt connected. And then we're going to take this, we're going to run it up. We are going to go... I do not have the space. Tell you what, yes I do. We're going to go over that, just like that. We're going to come down like that. Around. Down. Just like that. And then to there. Which means the green sign is going to end up on the top side of this belt. Which is good. Because this is all going to produce green signs. There you go. We managed to get the green signs working. Oh, almost. We need to include that right there. Now everything will work as intended. Or at least it should. Do I have filter inserters? I do. And I can only make one of them right now. Because I have no iron. I wonder who stole all my iron. Two of those. Let's make a second box. And then what we're going to do is we're going to right over here. So I've got this nice little space at the end of the aisle. I'm going to put two of these down. I'm going to filter one of them to a whitelist belt. I'm going to set the other one to a whitelist inserters. We're going to put a box in front of each of them. I'm going to limit that box to just one stack for right now. We're going to make sure they both have access to everything they could possibly need. Why have I not got any of those yet? Because all of the gear wheels are being taken by that. So this is stuffing for gear wheels. Because that's not powered. Okay. That is a slight problem. There you go. Now we should have enough. And it's going to come all the way down here. It's going to reach here. And if it doesn't get used for anything else, it will end up getting put in the box. Only up to a stack. But that does mean that whenever I need any belts or inserters, I can come here. I do believe that I've researched green science. I have indeed. So that means that I can come down here, select green science, shift right click, shift left click, and drag. So now I am producing green science as well. Who's going to produce the first little bit of green science? Oh, there we go. Oh, there's more on the belt. There we go. Let's wait for them to get there. Let's watch them go to the labs. And just I've got something for research. Let us research automation 2. see how good our science setup is. Because we should be potentially backlogging slightly, but we need about 8 science packs first. So we need another 2 to get through. Come on. Come on. Are we going to manage to produce enough? That's the question. Or are we forever going to be on only 3? Looks like we're only going to manage 3. Oh, no, there you go. There's 4. There we go. I wonder if we're going to... Oh, that's a slight backlog. Only an ever so slight one, though. And only for a tiny bit. That's a slightly bigger backlog. Okay. We are backlogging on green science. So we are good. We're all good to go. And I think, yes, inserters have managed to get all the way out to the end of the line. Not quite exactly them yet. But it's fine. We're also not going to be able to do the next science within the next 40 minutes. So that is that. Because the next science is blue science, I think. Or military. Yeah, blue science. Which is going to use advanced circuits, sulfur, engine units. It's a whole thing. Or we've got military science, which is piston rounds, magazines, grenades, and walls, which we're also not producing. I don't think we have a stone... I don't think we're smelting any of our stone at the moment. Yeah, so I've just got research to do. So, for today's stream, I'm actually going to wrap it up here. We've made some good progress, and before we go, I'm actually going to grab this for you guys. Again, all of these blueprints are going to be available to download on my Patreon for the actual blueprint strings. Yeah, go away, going all the way. So what I can do is go with you, go to 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 those 2. So that is the blueprint right there. I'm just going to make sure that I've definitely got rid of these 2 belts. Yep, there you go. So that is the... Ooh, yeah, there's that as well. That purple. Safe. So you don't have that purple. And then that will also go in the blueprint book. And then we're going to work out what we want to research. Advanced material processing is a good one. We do want the circuit network. We also want some lab research speed. We would not mind being able to distribute energy a little bit easier. And let's grab logistics 2. Also need the engines at some point. Tool belt's not bad. and after all that I will work out where we are. But given the fact that we're not going to be able to research blue science, given the fact that we're not going to be able to do blue science in this stream, for this particular live, we are going to call it here. We are going to end stream here. Next stream, we will work on blue science. If you're watching this on YouTube, then next video will be next stream, and we will be able to work on science in that video. It does look like it is in fact my red science. Why is my red science not producing? What did I... Oh... That doesn't help. And that also reminds me, I don't think I have my red science set up in here for you guys. So actually, before we call it quits for the day, yeah, I got basic science. I never actually grabbed red science. So let me grab from here to here all of this for you. I'm going to remove that because that's specific to me. And we can create a blueprint. And then I've got a copy of the red science blueprint for you guys. And we're going to move the green science here, or the red science right here. And while I'm here, let's have a little look at these, and you can get a red science label and a gatewell. I want gatewell to be here, and I want this to be assembling gatewells and red science being researched. So this is my starter science. This is assembling green circuits. So let's make that. I like keeping the belt icon in there because the belt icon will reflect what level of belts we're using, because there's actually 3 different speeds. This is red science assembling. So blueprint. And this is green science. And as you see on there, technically the next science in line is military, but we're going to do blue before we do military. We're going to do that next stream. So yeah, we've got the blueprint book. It'll be available on Patreon. The blueprint string will be available on the Patreon. To subscribers of any patrons of any pledge. It will also be available on my Guilded server for subscribers to my Guilded server. As will the individual blueprints themselves. I will mark which blueprints are what and all of that sort of thing, so that people aren't confused as to which blueprint is what. And then for those of you that just want a video on the topic, there will be videos coming out for each of the blueprints to explain what they do, why I made them, how they work, all of that sort of thing. Probably not this blueprint, because this blueprint doesn't need explanation. It's just the opening for a smelting stack. Much like I'm probably not going to do a massive in-depth explanation on this blueprint, but I will do one on the smelting stack as a whole. In which case, part of the video that I do on this blueprint will explain this blueprint and this one. I'm actually gonna that makes more sense because part 1, part 2, full thing, coal mining. Let's actually mark that as specifically coal mining. Data science, green modules, green circuit, assembly module, red science setup, green science setup, and then there'll be a blue science setup next stream. Okay. And before we go, I'm going to go down to these, and you can get an extra helping of that. I have no iron currently, but that's fine. I also don't have a full stack of belts, but that's fine. Because I no longer need belts and inserters from that. Because I can get them up here. It's not quite an actual mall yet, but that is fine. A mall is just a one-stop shop for most everything. You know what, just 100 to 200 is fine. Except that just like 50 to 100 of those is also fine. Just grow a pair. Yeah, definitely backlogging on science, which does mean that we aren't quite doing science at 1 per second. But that's fine. We are producing at 1 per second. And that is what matters. But yeah, that'll be everything for today. YouTube videos will start coming out tomorrow. And it'll stay that way for ever. That's fun. Check out my other socials, link in the description if you're on YouTube. If you're on Twitch, then you should already be subscribed to my other socials, but check my About Me. And that might have my link tree. Yeah, check out my other socials. And I will see you guys in the next stream. But for today, the stream is now officially over. It's been a pleasure, I hope to see you again next week. Ta-ta for now.